Hey, everybody. So in the spirit of trying to bring something valuable to all of you guys during the coronavirus lockdown period, I'm bringing today an interview with you that I did with a friend of mine, Tracy Broughton with Legal Shield. Tracy has a really unique product. And to be honest with you guys, I really didn't know much about Legal Shield when I first heard about it. But considering everything that's going on with coronavirus and the lockdown, whether you're an employer and you need, questions answered about your employees, or whether you're the head of your household and maybe you need to put together a will or a trust, or maybe you're an employee and you're trying to collect benefits and you need somebody to answer questions that only an attorney can answer. I feel like there's really never been a better time for somebody like Tracy to answer these questions for you guys. So with that said, don't push stop. Here's my friend Tracy. I'm here with my friend Tracy Broughton, and Tracy is a great referral partner and friend of mine. Tracy is with a company called, I'm sure most of you guys have heard it, called Legal Shield. So say hi, Tracy.
Hi, guys.
So Tracy and I, we've spent a lot of time talking just about, philosophy and business, and really my eyes have been opened on a lot of things that I really had no idea about when I first heard about Legal Shield. And during these times of the coronavirus, I thought, it's so apropos what she's doing right now to try and, enrich and hopefully help all of you guys. A little bit about Tracy. Tracy is she's one of the most interesting people I've ever met. I mean, we are talking about somebody who has seen adversity more than most of you guys could ever dream. She has been in 2 major car accidents where she couldn't walk. She was paralyzed. She was a single mom. She raised 2 beautiful boys. With nothing but adversity, she turned herself into this massive success story, even so far as becoming Miss America in 2011. So she, she's a self-made businesswoman. She's, she's a successful mother and also incredibly successful within the Legal Shield family. So, I just wanted to bring her on because I want her to talk about some of the things that we've just been talking about and encourage you guys, or at least get you to open your mind up and think about why right now this kind of service is more important than ever to you. So Tracy, tell us a little bit about, how, why Legal Shield you feel is such an important aspect of not just, everyone's individual identity, but also, for businesses. Why don't you explain what, a little bit about how Legal Shield works, and then we'll go into some of the nuances that we've been talking about.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the intro, Barry. You like to embarrass me anytime we get together, but
it's always better to have somebody else toot your horn than have you toot your horn, Tracy.
Exactly. But it's an honor to even work with you and call you my friend. And so thank you for having me on and talking about this important subject. But yeah, I've been with Legal Shield for 20 years now, and actually started because I actually used the service. I loved it. I had a lot of medical bills. Like he said, I was in 2 accidents. And so I had lots of medical bills, and one letter from my attorney actually wiped them out. And then I had child support issues as well. And I'd be able to pick up the phone and not worry about that $300, $400, $500 hour bill that you get per hour. And I don't know who makes that much an hour. I don't know if attorneys can afford themselves, right? But that empowered me to be able to pick up and just ask questions. And so that leads me into what he's talking about is, I think even now today, it's so important just to be able to make responsible decisions. And a lot of people try to like Google and find an answer, or they think they have a friend that's an attorney. But attorney is just as specialized as medicine. And so there's actually different divisions of law. I wouldn't go to a foot doctor for a heart problem, but yet people ask, their friend that's a family law attorney about, coronavirus business issue. And so what I'm passionate about right now is helping individuals have access to their rights, because it says equal justice under law, but it's really not true. It's how much you can afford, right? And business owners, a way to make responsible decisions. And so I think if you have access to your rights, then you have them. And if you don't have to worry about the billable hour when you pick up the phone, and you can call on a limited amount of issues. So I tell people, if they're legally lonely, don't worry, you can call your attorney. And really get smart answers to your questions. The people that's all they do. The average attorney has about 22 years experience. You never talk to a paralegal. It's a rate stable plan, and you can use it as much as you want. So if you have 10 issues that you have right now, and that's what I found, a lot of business owners have all these issues, and now they're picking which one do I spend the $100 to call on for 15 minutes? You know, what do I do? Or they try to figure it out themselves to avoid, because they're trying to save money right now, instead of actually practicing preventative and finding out the good answers. It's really, how much does it cost you if you make a wrong mistake, right? And paying all those employees or what you're doing, it can really cost you more by not knowing what your rights are. And so our plan's really simple. It's like what your healthcare does for your hospital and your medical bills, we do for your attorneys and legal fees. And so
Yeah,
for one.
And Tracy and I were talking, you know, I don't think that people really understand, or let me put it this way. I didn't quite completely understand all the different aspects of somebody's life where, you know, this might apply to you. I have an attorney. I've had attorneys before, you know, for various things that I've had to go through. And I mean, I had an attorney that was a really, really dear friend of mine. I mean, for years. And I remember one day getting billed for like a 15-minute conversation that he had with me, of which 10 minutes we were talking about going camping together. You know, and I'm like, dude, seriously, you're going to charge me for a 15-minute consultation? He's like, oh, it's my biller, you know, my billing department. I'll tell him. So, yeah, I mean, this stuff can all wind up, you know, causing a lot of pain on your pocketbook. And bringing this into, you know, today during COVID, all of you business owners, you know, that are, Tracy and I were talking, you know, struggling with, you know, safety concerns of opening your business back up again, you know, stimulus, whether or not you can get your employees tested, healthcare issues, tax issues. All these different attorneys that you might have that you could go to for information on this, my God, it's going to eat you alive. So having a service like this, where you can go and get some, you know, on the ground type of, you know, reliable information, not necessarily to take the place of your attorney right now, but to add to that. Believe it or not, Tracy and I share attorney referral partners with each other. She doesn't take business away from them. She looks to add to their business. So I know you guys have an attorney that you love or whatever, or that you really like a lot. So, but Tracy isn't saying, hey, Legal Shield's going to replace them. She's going to say it's going to add to that. Now, Tracy was just telling me a little earlier about, you know, on a personal level, about some of the fraud that's taking place out there. So you know, she showed me a television clip of somebody who got put in jail for 6 days, you know, for mistaken identity. So Tracy, why don't you share a little bit about some of the issues that are happening out there on the personal level?
Definitely. He was talking about identity theft, 7 days in jail. People think identity theft is just credit. And that could be one of them. And unfortunately, if you don't keep your credit right, when you do want to go buy after all of this, or what you want to do, we want to make sure that we keep that at a good level so your interest rates are what they need. But then also other things like health, if they use your health insurance because they lost their job, now they don't have health insurance and they're using yours, or they collect your stimulus check, or you have a will, maybe you already are responsible and you have a will, but it's not updated. We had a member that actually caught COVID and went to the hospital, and he had a do not resuscitate. And so having access to his law firm to adjust his estate planning and actually get a respirator could have saved his life. I mean, we don't know exactly, we can't tell what will happen, but the fact that he got treatment is amazing. So any estate planning, identity theft issues, or just your own personal issues. Like my sister needed to call on her job because she was afraid, she already has asthma, and they wanted her to come back to work without safety equipment and not paying sick leave and all this stuff. And she couldn't even get a hold of unemployment and these other entities because the government entities are so backed up. And so the peace of mind to be able to pick up the phone and call her attorney on these personal issues. And then, like you said, the business owners are so overwhelmed with the stimulus packages and everything that he just said. They've called me just thanking me that it just makes it so easy that they can call in and set a phone appointment even, because if you're busy, you can say, can I call in tomorrow at 2, and the attorney will be waiting for you, or they'll call you back within 4 business hours. And I don't know any traditional attorneys that even get back to you that quickly. And then they'll review documents within like 3 days. So if you get something from the government and you don't understand all this paperwork, within 3 days, they'll get back to you on that too. And so it's just nice to be able to have access and all the things that you might need personally and or for your business, because we want to help you save money and grow your business. And so, like you said, keep your attorney, and if you feel comfortable on a big issue, but if you had maybe some debt collection, that was another issue I got. How do I collect debt right now when people don't have jobs, and how do I do that within my business? And so great ways to map that out and what to do on that and with debt collection issues as well. So it's been a good resource to lower your costs and give you, more importantly, even peace of mind through all this, because you have access.
So yeah, and I kind of liken it to, guys, I mean, the men out there. I don't think it's as prevalent with women, but a guy, we hurt somewhere and we go, I mean, I'm not going to go into the doctor, and I don't want to pay for the the copay, or I can't take the time off work until all of a sudden something is falling off. That's kind of the way guys are, and it's a risk to reward ratio kind of thing that we go through in our head, right? And I know that business owners go through the same thing. It's like, how big of a problem is this? Is this worth me spending $75 for a 15-minute consultation with my attorney? Is this worth $150, for me to call my attorney? You're constantly going through this, wrestling match in your head. Like, I know I need to talk to somebody about this, but can I afford to do that? That's the big question. Guys, Tracy's telling you, you can afford to do this, and it's through Legal Shield. It's really easy. Tracy will she'll even jump on a Zoom call with you. I know she said she did like 7 or 8 of them yesterday. She'll jump on a Zoom call, talk about your specific business or you personally, and explain to you, how this could help you. At the end of the day, if you don't feel like it's for you, she's not a high pressure type of person. She'll just, nice to meet you. I know her. She's super cool like that. So Tracy, do you have normal set hours? How is somebody to get in touch with you? I'm going to put your name and phone number down at the bottom. How do you normally like to do things?
I'm really open. They can text me, and right now I'm I don't do normal business hours because people don't have normal problems right now. So I really am passionate about what I do, and I'm kind of available. So really any hours will work, unless I'm sleeping. And then if it's not for them, we have tons of resources for them. So even if it doesn't work, I'll send them some free resources of all the collective questions that people have been asking. So maybe that'll help them realize what they need help with. We have a COVID resource for small business owners, individuals, and then our app is actually free to download. And we have a bot on there. And so any questions that everyone's asked, the information's already in there. So maybe some of your generic questions, you can at least get an answer from the attorneys of typically asked questions as well. And from that app, if you ever need me, you can click on that, and it will upgrade you to a plan if you want to get covered. So either way, there's no pressure. Like you said, we'll get you some free information, and then we'll even get you just what the plan is that fits you, because I'd like to know what your needs are for what business, what size, what employees, how many locations, or as an individual, how many kids. You have teenagers, do we want to keep the insurance rates down with tickets, that kind of stuff. So figure out what's in it for you, and then at least you'll know what plan it is whenever you decide to do that. So I just like to educate, really.
Guys, the other thing that Tracy, I know about her, we haven't talked about here. I mean, besides why a business owner should have Legal Shield and why somebody personally should have Legal Shield, guys, I got to tell you, businesses get Legal Shield for their employees too, as an employee benefit. And they have tremendous programs for that. Tracy, closing up, do you want to just kind of mention something like that for the business owners, especially during this day and time? You want to do something super, super cool for your employee? Get them Legal Shield. Go ahead, Trace.
Yeah, we help and reduce your productivity and decrease your absenteeism. If you think about it, when your employees are worried about a ticket or divorce or something else, they bring that personal issue and it turns into a personnel issue, right? And so at no cost to the business owner, we can come in. When we can come back in, I'll bring in lunch, but right now we can just do a Zoom. And we can cover your employees with a voluntary benefit. It'll actually increase the morale, give them access. I mean, imagine giving all of your employees a free will, giving all of your employees access to the rights, and they can't use it against their employer. So don't have to worry about that either. We put an amendment in there so they can't use it against you. But identity theft going on right now, so you give them something that adds value and shows that you care about your employees. And it comes out of their paycheck, or they can do it fully voluntary through a card, and so a bank draft. So that's been one of the fastest growing employee benefits in the nation right now with Legal Shield. So yes, we'd love to help your bottom line, but give a huge value to your customers and your employees.
Up a little bit. Tracy is incredible. Like I said, all of her information is down below here. So give her a call. You know, you can probably, I'll also put Tracy's email on there. Text her, call her, send her an email, passenger pigeon, smoke signals, whatever winds up working for you. Tracy, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And
if you're not interested in starting a new business, maybe you stop your career. We actually do incorporations as well. And we form those and we give you 3 months free of our legal services. Then you incorporate through us, and all you do is pay the court costs. So we do that as well. And thank you for your time. And go ahead.
I think you might have broke up there for a second, Tracy. Why don't you go ahead and say that again?
I was just saying, for maybe people that have changed, maybe they want to change careers right now, we actually do incorporations. So we can form your business as well, and you actually get 3 months free of our access to our attorneys when you incorporate through us, and it's really just paying the filing fees. So very inexpensive as well. Yeah, we call it Launch by Legal Shield. So there's a whole bunch to do. Come find out what we do, because I couldn't explain it all on here. I'll give them my website as well, where you can click on there, but text me, email me, and I'd love to help. Thank you. And thank you everyone for your service. Humbly want to be grateful to everyone that has served and all the families that have supported them in serving. And so thank you for doing that tribute as well. And thank you for your friendship.
Indeed, indeed. Thanks, you guys. And everybody if you're watching this before Memorial Day, I hope that you have a wonderful Memorial Day. If you're watching it after Memorial Day, just remember to watch it again next year when it's Memorial Day, because then, you know, you can just kind of get into the feeling and the spirit of Memorial Day all over again, and you can see Tracy again. So, all right, guys, enjoy your weekend. Take care.